Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. I'm very excited about this game here today and potentially some more games between these two because they hit each other on the ladder a lot right now. We have True up here in the top right. The ACS champion for this season will be in ASL, going up against Light here in the bottom right here. Obviously, there are some doubters to Light being the strongest Terran, and he's not the strongest tournament Terran overall, but he's probably just the strongest Terran overall. Flash is back, and I think it'll change back to Flash as soon as Flash actually joins ASL or whatever. And yeah, Rush does better than Light in ASL overall, but Rush has no championships, Light does. Anyways, Light is a grinder. He's fantastic. You really can't put him second to anyone in SK Terran. It's like I put him, Flash, and JYJ all about the same with Bio against Zerg. They're all right about the same level. And I feel like I could kind of make an argument for everyone. Maybe not JYJ as much, but like JYJ has immaculate SK Terran against Zerg. SK Terran, of course, being Marine Medic Science Vessel. Now, I've casted a good amount of TVZs in the last 2 months or so. And in fact, there was a metagame shift that was going on because this new age of ZVT, the Zergs have become so unkillable with Sulky kind of at the helm that we saw for a little bit there, people were playing with mech. Flash was testing a lot of mech builds. We had a lot of Wraith builds popping up, and we had a lot of I'm just trying to bust your sunken builds. Right? Get right before Lurker kill you when you're doing that transition. We've had a lot of games that looked like that, but we actually, here as ASL approaches, have a slight metagame shift back towards SK Terran. Because, if you remember, people that do watch every day, right? I went on a deep dive of TVZ, and there was, the only Marine Medic wins were Sunken Bus. That was it. And everything else was either a pretty one-sided loss or some sort of kind of cheesy play from Terran. And the thing is, those cheesy plays, things like two-port Wraith, don't stick around. The lower you get in economy, the quicker things get figured out in a way, if that makes sense. So it's when a game comes out, cheesy options are very, very strong. They're easy to map out. They're easy to execute. But as people get better defensively, the strength of moves like that just deteriorates. So for instance, when we're seeing all these two-port Wraith builds, it's okay, they look so strong. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And the thing is, there's only two ways it can go. One, it gets solved because there's not that many decisions being made. Or two, it breaks the game. And StarCraft 1 refuses to be broken. There's too much skill inherent in it. So, unless the game breaks, builds like that will never actually completely take over. So we're kind of back to SK Terran builds. Okay? Now, what is different about the builds? Well, I think it's, as ASL's approaching, people just want to get good win rates with something. And the only thing that reliably has enough going on that you can outplay your opponent is honestly SK Terran. Even mech gets so boiled down so quickly, these builds where it's yes, he has this many, the best mech build has this many Goliaths at this time. All right, can we block that? Whereas you look at something like Marine Medic versus Zerg, there's infinity things that can happen. It's so crazy deep with how many Marines there are, in what positions, attacking what times are the upgrades, what are you making out of your starports, what time does Lurker come out, what time does Hive come out? There's a lot. So anyways, with all that being said, we're just watching what looks like a standard opener on both sides. This is a very nice, this is a 3 depot 2 barracks build from Light, which has been more popular lately. It gets you a little bit more unit heavy early in the game. Now, this is a mass Ling attack from True. This is not good for Light at all. Oh my god, are we just gonna have a completely one-sided game right now? After I did all that explain, True just makes a bunch of speedlings and goes. Okay, good blocking here from Light. True is getting good damage. Now, don't forget, this is damage to True as well because he skipped so many drones. But he's killed 4 SCVs. He killed all the Marines. There's no mining going on. This is looking really, really bad for Light at the moment. 23 SCVs is very weak. Now, he starts his eBay on time, which is the most important thing here. A lot of games that look like this, they don't win because of the zerglings. Like, the zerglings end up getting held. But they end up winning because the mutas come and you're just kind of not defended well enough against them. Like, maybe your turrets are a little bit late or something. So getting that eBay on time is very, very important. As soon as it finishes, he needs to get his turrets going. The second it finishes. Because, like, basically you have to have your turrets started as the mutalisks are popping in close position. Now, look, we have 2 on gas here, 1 on minerals here. So True's economy is in a garbage can right now. He did a lot of damage. The SCV count is very weak for light. But True does not have a lot of follow-up. He's got to keep aggression going. Range being, like, the first thing that light gets, I think he'll skip +1 for a while. Like, he needs to get missile turrets. +1 doesn't matter that much. He had 1 scan there and checked. I believe he just checked to see if it was a Spire. Anyways, gets down here into position. It's not that many mutas. And the medics blocking here have done an unbelievable job. So if those medics, for instance, were in the back or in the middle, True would have just won the game. But because the medics were in the front blocking a bit, it screwed up the Ling attack so much. Wow. Really good defense here from Light. Many players could have lost there. It's just, well, I mean, everyone knows to kind of put your medics in front at these stages of the game. But still, really well done. So 3 mutas flying in for harass. 3 mutas will 2-shot, or 3-shot in SCV, I guess. Yeah, 3-shot. So they're not really that useful, but it does give him a little check on what's going on. He should have noticed that +1 wasn't started. I think he knows, obviously, that range is already done. So Light is stabilizing. We have to go up and see if he's going to drone at all. So right now it's only mutas and okay, 2 drones. So True is getting a fair amount of mutas and he's going to try to re-drone here. Light should be making SCVs whenever he can afford. For him right now, it's like, okay, scan just to check. Oh, mutas are still popping. Okay, add missile turrets, add marines, add SCVs. Just whatever he can afford of those units and the missile turrets, because right now, like, True is pretty all in. You know, he obviously did a lot of damage, but you got to follow that up. True getting a few SCVs, keeping that SCV count really, really low. You know, it's hard to do anything but kind of refill your SCV count until you're in the, like, the mid-30s. Like, if you try to start a factory now, it doesn't do anything because you can't really afford the start port tech. Like, yeah, like, imagine trying to get a Valkyrie right now. A Valkyrie costs $250, $125. You can't afford all that. You have to just kind of continually remake your SCVs, try to get your economy back in shape. And look at this, True diving right now into this mineral line. Light on a move command there. That's actually really, really smart. That immediately makes this go. You might have looked at that and be like, well, why is he on a move command? It's if you attack move, the second your Marines get in range of the Zerglings, True will get alerted. Okay? So if you're on a move command, sometimes you can ignore Lings and get a little bit closer to their base, which makes them freak out a little bit more. Because it's just about, do you get there and do they have their mutas in position or their sunkens made? So this is a full group. He has that +1 attack. Good micro will make this beat that. But, it really kind of comes down to that, and we know Light's going to have good micro. You know, there is a lot of counterplay with the Marine micro here. But if you do this really well as True, you can whittle this down. 1 Marine for 1 Mutalist so far. Not the best. Good rotation of the mutas. Like, he's doing okay with this, but he has lost, like, what, 2 mutas now? Yeah, adds them back in. Light back at home has started his factory. He does have over 30 SCVs now, which is important. Continuing to try to whittle this down. It's getting worse for True right now. I tell you, this is a pretty clutch game out of Light. True ends up killing off all that entire group. And he is getting the +1 carapace. So there's definitely still a shot here for True. But Light has stabilized really, really well. And now he can actually afford to do what he needs to do tech-wise. And he's had enough scans to kind of see what's going on. Realistically, I don't like him standing here. I feel like because these are on the way, like, okay, well, he's just going to threaten the counterattack. So actually, that seems fair as well. True basically will have to come out and do the same thing with the mutas again. And by the time he's done that, there's going to be 2 Valkyries out. Or Science. Yeah, okay, it's going to be Valkyries. He's making the army. That makes more sense. So the mutas fly back out. Oh, he's actually catching a few units here with that little group. This was like his reinforcement group. That was kind of nice. Picks off a few for pretty cheap. Thing is, True does not have another base. He does not have another sunken. He does not have more tech. He only has 1 more upgrade coming. That is the only other power spike we're going to see from him. Whereas we're going to see a big power spike when 2 Valkyries come out. So this is looking very good for Light at the moment. I'm just going to do a little patrol around the sides. So you're actually looking for certain things as the mutas, go around the army. You're looking to engage where there's not a wide, flat line of Marines. So what Terran wants is a long line of Marines facing the incoming direction of the mutas. So when you fly around, you're kind of looking for like Marines sticking out a little bit, so that less Marines are firing at you. So he does clear this once again. Or almost clears it, because there are reinforcements coming up. He was going to clear, but yeah, that was a good reinforce. And now there's Valkyries. I think this is going to end pretty quickly here. True is going to go ahead and dive on the first Valk. He did get his +1 carapace done, that's why that was not as bad as it could have been. You prevented a lot of damage with that carapace. But it just kind of gets worse from here. We don't even have a Hydralis Den yet. So it's like he has to aggressively trade. And I just don't see that happening with 2 Starport Valkyries. Light backs all the way up into a bunker. He's going to get near his missile turrets. He's going to make his Valkyries. Like, if he already had a Hydralis Den, Light might need to push right now. But Light has had tons of scans. And if I'm Light, I'm like, yeah, no, he doesn't have anything right now. All we need to do is get that Valkyrie count up. Additional barracks on the way. Yeah, he's up at 38 SCVs, so looking good. The economy of Zerg has recovered. Like 27 drones. Pretty solid. He's got a new base. Okay, cool. He probably should make a few Scourge and just go for like the dream engagement, where your Scourge end up killing Valkyries and your mutas can clear everything, because I don't see any other way. Other than trying to just make a bunch of Sunkens right now. But if you make a bunch of Sunkens right now, I think Light's going to breeze through this game anyways. It doesn't seem like something that can... It's like, yeah, okay, you could make... Let's say you make 4 Sunkens at each base. That is so much money put in with no actual furthering of the goal of True other than to stay alive, which obviously staying alive is important. You can't win a game without staying alive. Big shock to a lot of people, but... Yeah, very deep, Artosis. Thank you. But, like, that's the thing. You're trying to win the game, not just survive. This isn't like, oh, I survived for 31 minutes against Light or whatever. No, that's not what you're looking for at this level. You're looking to win. So it's like, okay, well, making the Sunkens does not help a win. I think you have to go for miracles at some points. Now, that is a hell of a lot of Valkyries. Holy crap. There is no way. It is way too many. And he attacks in. Like, these Sunks cannot hold 1-1 Marines. Not even close. Not even close. More Scourge coming to try to pick these off. If he can pick off every Valkyrie here, maybe he could kill the army. Okay, GG is called. Okay, so, like, this, I guess, technically was like a sunken bus game. So it wasn't exactly what I was looking for, What I want to see is some of these SK Terran late games against Defiler where they're able to pick up those victories. But you know what? I do have to give props to True. I love his decisive style. He decided to go for the Speedlings. He stayed on course. And he's playing against the strongest Marine Medic player that there is. So very well done from True overall. And you gotta You got to appreciate the decisiveness, because that's, you know, in peak, what a lot of people consider peak StarCraft. You look at what ZVT was back in like 2008-ish, and it was like Jaedong and Effort doing moves like what we just saw from True, where they're like, I smell blood, and then they just go, and they just kill, right? And True's trying to do that, but he also has very good late game. Well, a very different late game, which is actually, when I saw this, that was the main thing I want to see, is the Hydra Ling Defiler roam that he's been doing a lot. I want to see that against light. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this game. I still think it was a good one. Thank you for watching. See you next time.